Is there any circumstance in the world, any world situation, where you can't devise a poll for?
You can't do polls where people won't let you. So right now in Darfur, Sudan, which is a very difficult situation, we have developed a questionnaire, we've piloted it, we've got some results, we know it'll work, and this is amongst nomads and refugees with very high rates of illiteracy, and we know we can do it. The problem is right now we've been stopped by the security services of the Sudan government. So that's the only, so in my experience the only time you can't do it is when somebody prevents you from doing it.
Now, to some people the idea of opinion polls and involving the public seems completely counterintuitive. Surely solving great crises is the work of politicians behind closed doors.
Well, I think this whole thing of political elites and publics is a totally false dichotomy. The agreements that fail are the agreements that are done behind closed doors, which the publics haven't bought into. What was so wonderful and special about the Northern Ireland process is it led to a referendum which everybody bought into. And that has given the process, in spite of all the difficulties, in spite of the years of implementation, it's given it stability. Without the public support, without the referendum, I'm sure this thing would have gone belly up a long time ago. It wouldn't have lasted as long as it has. And hopefully it'll last well into the future because of that. So I think it's absolutely false to separate publics and elites. I think,
despite all the difficulties in the Middle East, give me a précis of what you have found and how confident you are that the polls will help.
What we've found is two things. One is what everybody already knows, namely what the shape of an agreement is. That's been knocking around for years. And tragically, that was the same in Northern Ireland. Everybody roughly knew what the deal was. They call it Sunningdale for slow learners. And I'm sure when they get a deal in the Middle East, it'll be the Clinton or the Taba parameters for slow learners. So we confirmed that, as many other people do, that that's the deal. But in addition to that, we ran a whole new questionnaire on process. And that's where the whole thing is falling down in the Middle East. They don't have a robust process which is inclusive of civil society, which is inclusive of the international community, as in the Middle East, as we did in Northern Ireland. And it was the change in process, I believe, that brought about an agreement in Northern Ireland after many years of failed negotiation.